Our society has countless images, ideas, and stereotypes about change agents, people who help an organization transform by improving business process and interpersonal interactions. Whether influencing fashion, business, art, entertainment, science, politics, or law, these change agents have and continue to positively impact today's society on so many levels. And today, we are proud to share the story of these business owners, coaches, innovators, and thought leaders from various industries who are eager to educate, inspire, and motivate you. This is Our Voices on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome to Our Voices. This is powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation. My name is Natasha Nurse. I'm the owner and co-founder of Dressing Roommate, co-host of Woke and Free, and the lifestyle editor of Plus Model Magazine. And this show is focused on highlighting the amazing work of powerful change agents who have a great message to share with the world. And today I'm really excited to be speaking with President Patrick Bergin and partner and executive vice president Tom Catalano of Compass Operations. So who are these great guys? So before starting Compass Operations, Patrick served in global operations, integration, and quality roles within multi-billion-dollar global companies where he focused on delivering significant ROI by transforming the business operations through workflow automation, process engineering, productivity management, quality control, and providing effective leadership through intense change management programs. Most recently, he led the global standardization and transformation for a global services company operating in over 60 countries. While as partner and executive vice president, Tom Catalano is a business expert with more than 20 years of experience in operational development and management with a wide array of direct experience in managing startups and global multi-billion-dollar company. Tom brings the tactical expertise to deliver real ROI. Patrick and Tom both join Our Voices here, and I'm just super excited to hear their story. And let's get with it. How are you guys doing?
Great. Thanks, Natasha. Thanks for having us on.
Absolutely. So just right out of the gate, I'd love for you guys to talk about how Compass Operations came to be.
Okay, Natasha, so that's an interesting question because Tom and I, after spending our careers building and transforming operations for all size companies, from startups to multi-billion-dollar national corporations, we've been working together for about 20 years, and we decided to take all of those skills that we built over our careers directly to the market in order to help companies grow and improve both their productivity performance, their cost performance, and ultimately their production performance.
Gotcha. Okay. And when it comes to, like, I guess for the kind of the links that are missing with the businesses you're working, do businesses just kind of fail all across the board, or are there, based on your experience, more issues within one segmentation of the business that you guys are able to like come in, fix, and improve?
Yeah, well, we work with a couple of different types of companies. So ultimately, our companies that call on us are either in a situation where they're in a high growth mode and their back office operations are lacking efficiency or they don't have scalability, or companies are in a turnaround mode and interested in looking at reducing costs without, just the typical headcount reduction, but actually looking at things like systems and processes and, automations in order to drive down costs within the firm.
Gotcha. Okay. And are you guys familiar with Marcus Lemonis?
Familiar with, excuse me?
Marcus Lemonis. He's the creator of The Profit Show. He's a very successful business entrepreneur, kind of mogul media person. Have you ever seen that show or no?
Yeah. We met Marcus at the LIEC, the Long Island Entrepreneur Conference, out in Uniondale this past September. Yeah.
Okay, great. So what are your thoughts on his philosophy of like people, product, process?
He has a very similar philosophy to mine. I was engaged during his presentation. I know he gave a wonderful presentation at the LAEC. He's a smart individual. He gets it. He understands how people equate to success within a company, and how you really design culture in order to be efficient and effective. So he's a smart individual, and I really respect him.
Okay, very cool. I love that. Business love. Very nice. So when it comes to the key services that you offer, what, practically speaking, are you able to kind of come in and work and help businesses grow or scale?
Yeah, so we offer a host of services, but we focus specifically on things like operational design and strategy. These are for companies that may be introducing a new product or trying to redesign what they currently have. So we're experts in that, as well as workflow and digital automation. Mm-hmm. So looking at ways within the company to become more effective at what they do using technologies and digital automations. We're also, as I already said, and you'll probably hear a number of times throughout the call, transformation, productivity, cost savings, inclusive of things like outsourcing and process engineering. So we've got a tremendous amount of experience at really looking at the back office operations within production, both in, terms of becoming more efficient, and also leveraging new technologies in order to not only take economies of scale, but also drive productivity.
Okay. And I'd love to hear from both of you on the matter of when it comes to entrepreneurship or business, startups and all of that. Why do you think it seems to be more popular and kind of a bit of a buzzword now more than it has been maybe 10 or 15 years ago?
Yeah, right now, Natasha, I think the current climate for startups is the best it's been in a long time, in some 40 years. Mm-hmm. With changes to the tax codes and deregulation, it's a great time for entrepreneurs to kind of spread their wings. It helps take some of the fear and trepidation out of the initial decisions to take an idea to market. So I think the financial aspects of it, or the improved financial situation of getting into an entrepreneurship, is just much better than it has been in a long time.
Okay. And when it comes to running a successful business, given both of your years of experience, would you say that, I know there's not like a one-size-fit-all for businesses, but what would you say are some of the key ingredients that you've seen for the businesses who've really kind of gone above and beyond and are like really succeeding and not just not just existing?
Right, Natasha. Well, the first thing is a business has to have a service or product that fills a void within the marketplace. Without that, you're really not going to have a sustainable business. But beyond that, assuming it already has a product or service that will fill a void and is needed, it has to have a comprehensive business plan along with a vision for that business, for that particular product or service. And it also has to have owners or principals that are willing to devote the time and effort necessary to ensure its success. Those are the driving factors for a successful business. And then there's a lot more to it. But, if you're looking to get established and an entrepreneur is looking to take something off the ground, those are the factors that actually drive the success of that company.
Love it. You are listening to Our Voices on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Natasha Nurse. My guests today are Patrick Bergin and Executive Vice President Tom Catalano of Compass Operations. So, guys, when it comes to your personal habits of success, I'm really interested in hearing kind of what do you guys do to ensure your own level of success and viability as professionals, as community leaders and such?
Okay, Natasha, that's a very good question. And as I think about that, it comes to, I guess, three things off the top of my head. One is planning. The next is patience. And finally, perseverance. The sacrifice of starting your own business is significant. And you have to be in this for the long haul. And that means enjoying both your good days and, most importantly, overcoming the bad days, because there will be bad days when you own your own company.
Yeah.
Those are our habits for success. And, Tom and I are aligned on that. We've been working together for about 20 years. And really, that's what keeps us motivated as we go through, ups and downs, because with every business, like, I spoke at the Long Island Entrepreneur Conference, you have your failures, and you have to, look beyond that, learn from them, take a step back, and then move forward. And that's really our habits for success.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that you said that. And I think, I'd love to also hear, when it comes to the word failure, how do you define that? And do you even believe in the existence of failure? Or, as I like to say, I don't believe in failure. I think of everything as kind of a teachable lesson. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Right. And I think failure is different for everybody, but when it comes to business, you have various levels of failure. Certainly you have your day-to-day failures, which are going to happen, and, they're part of just anything in life. Certainly business is no different. You're going to have periods where you look at, what you're doing and you realize, this isn't really the best method, or it's not the best approach. But when it comes to overall failure, Tom and I don't accept total failure, because, there's always a way to overcome challenges. Like I said, as long as you have, a product or a service that fills the void, success can be had through hard work and through perseverance and planning. But our failures, they happen, and, they're not easy. And when they do happen, you have to, regroup. You have to take a look at what caused it, learn from it. But again, as I said, you kind of move forward. But, total failure is not acceptable. And, I think that, as long as you have a good service or a good product, success can be realized. I mean, you just have to work through the micro failures and not really look to a macro failure situation, because I don't really think that it's, that's something any leader or any type of entrepreneur should focus on.
Absolutely.
Right, Natasha, also on the topic of failure, failure is often the building block of your next success. So, as Patrick had mentioned, if things fall apart, you learn from what happened, you pick up the pieces, and you apply what you learned in that so-called failure to the next step. And that's one of the good things that with Patrick and I having worked together for so long. We can often see things, the same problem from different angles. So whereas, ABC might have failed this time, we'll pick up those pieces and apply maybe XYZ method next time. And some combination of that may work, and it may be AXY that works next time. So it's, it's important to learn from those failures, as Patrick had mentioned, and leverage those learning experiences in your next opportunity.
Absolutely. And since you guys seem to have such a really great business working relationship, I'm just curious, how do you, how did that, how do you know as an entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur whether you should go kind of down the business yellow brick road by yourself, or having a partner could kind of make the process better? How did you guys decide that you're going to do this together and kind of work together as partners?
Okay, so I'll answer, and then Tom, I'm sure will add to this. I know for me, it's the ability to have a complementary set of skills, along with, as Tom already alluded to, the differences in our approaches and how they can be a positive in the business. Meaning, Tom thinks differently than I do. We're both individuals, but we both have, some complementary areas, but we also have very unique things about us. Like, I'm more focused on strategy and commercial and, sales, and Tom is focused more on the tactical and the planning and the process for the business. So, I think that's part of it. Plus, it's really risky when you go into business, as partners. You have to have some experience working together, because that's really where, you find your either benefits from it or your disadvantages. And I have several colleagues and people I know who have gone into business with partners, and some have worked and some haven't. But usually when it hasn't, it's because, they're not accepted opposing views, and there's, lack of, some sort of complementary set of skills, and then there's, probably less of an experience working together.
Great points.
Yeah, and I think to add to that, Natasha, for me, it's always having that other person to bounce ideas off of, or to say, I think we should do this, but am I missing something, or is there an obstacle in the way that we need to prepare for? And just being able to have that open conversation, and again, with someone that you've worked with on and off for the past 20 plus years, who you kind of know each other's tendencies, I guess, for lack of better words, and it just makes it easier to get ideas out into the marketplace, because you can kind of flush them out between the two of you, and it helps a lot.
Love it. Okay. You are listening to Our Voices. My name is Natasha Nurse. More with my guest, President Patrick Bergin, and partner and Executive Vice President Tom Catalano of Compass Operations, next on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
90.3 WHPC reminds you that distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. Stay safe behind the wheel. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org and learn more. A message from the Ad Council and the Voice of Nassau Community College. 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome back to Our Voices on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Natasha Nurse, and my guest today, President Patrick Bergin, and partner and Executive Vice President Tom Catalano of Compass Operations. All right, guys. I love this conversation. I love the wisdom that you're sharing. And since you did mention kind of the ups and downs of business, I think I'd love for you to share more wisdom on, what, I guess, how have you both dealt with kind of struggles in business, and what was kind of the linchpin to help you keep moving forward, or was it people, was it resources, was it combination?
For me, Natasha, it's people. I think, as Patrick mentioned a little bit earlier, it's important to plan, have a good plan in place, have the patience and perseverance. The ability to also network as often as possible and seek out advice from others and mentorship from others, whether they're your peers that maybe you have worked with before, or fellow entrepreneurs that you have met across your path. For example, going back to the LIEC last September, that was a great opportunity for people to kind of network and get together and discuss what they were doing, what other people had success-wise and failure. Most of the time, someone has been through what you're going through, whether it's a plus or a positive experience or a negative experience. Someone has probably been through it already. So the more people that you can talk to and network with, the more you're going to find help. Entrepreneurs are very eager to help each other. I've always found that from day one. I think ultimately nobody wants to see other people fail. And even people within the same industry. You could have someone that's doing the exact same thing you're doing, and most of the time they'll be more than happy to help you out, because they were in your shoes. At one point, they were in your shoes, and they know what it's like. They know the struggles, and ultimately they know the success. And they want other people to be able to have that success also.
Absolutely. Okay. And when it comes to kind of who you look to for leadership or motivation, inspiration, who are some business leaders or community leaders that, really kind of help you stay focused and keep your eye on the prize?
For me, Natasha, I think from a business leader perspective, I go way back to those people that kind of did what I did on a larger scale, from an entrepreneur perspective, like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. You look at some of their successes, and those are two guys that actually dropped out of college. Not that I'm recommending that to any of your hostile listeners, but they dropped out of college and they pursued their dreams, and they had dreams to succeed, and they were actually competitors. And at some point along the path, I'm sure most people know that they actually worked together, Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, for a little while too, and they kind of helped each other out. And to the point where I believe Microsoft actually financially supported Apple for a little while. So, two guys that were, I guess, bitter rivals who put their differences aside for a little while, and obviously there's some financial benefit for both of them in that partnership. And also just within the industry, Natasha, just helping companies grow, looking at either high growth companies that are looking to grow further, or underperforming companies that are looking to quantify success of work through their KPIs. Since we are a performance-based advisory firm, we only get paid when we deliver on milestones. So, our success comes from key milestones. If we don't deliver then we either keep working until we do, and then our clients, I guess, fail. So it's important for us to make sure we do what we agree with our clients to do.
Absolutely. And given your breadth of experience in business, how would you say social media has either helped or hurt kind of the services that you offer and just the industry that you're in?
Oh, I think that's a great question, actually. Social media has been a launch pad into a lot of businesses, and ours included. I mean, you have the ability to be a thought leader and really provide insights. And Tom and I do this through a number of ways in various social media platforms. And it's not just done, to inspire commercial sales. It's really done as a give back to the community, to educate the community on certain things within technology, within business. So we're always, every week, posting either articles or publications that we develop on our own to provide the latest learnings within not only the business community and like we explained in operations and how businesses run and what technologies exist, what type of improvements are latest and greatest, what's the health of offshoring or outsourcing. These things are part of what we provide back, and social media is a great avenue for us to do that. And it's really been a key element of us providing insights and actions that businesses can do on their own. Because, we love the situation where companies would be self-sufficient. Being out of work in that situation would be a good thing. Well, maybe not a great thing for us, but a good thing for the business community overall. But providing this insight helps companies on their own. And Tom and I also provide various, how do I say it, non-chargeable free advice to companies, especially ones that, have questions that, they're unsure of. It's not all about, in terms of driving revenue. It's really helping the community because we want to form relationships with our clients. So it's not just about, collecting receivables or driving revenue. It's about providing value. And in some cases that, we provide that value for free.
Love it. I love that. Awesome. You are listening to Our Voices on the Voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC. My name is Natasha Nurse, and my guests today are President Patrick Bergin and Partner and Executive Vice President Tom Catalano of Compass Operations. So, so many questions, so little time. It's so hard. Okay. For those listening who want to start a business either today, next month, next year, whatever, right? Like it's in the periphery of kind of that bucket list that they have for themselves. What is step one for that person?
Okay, so Natasha, since we already had the discussion about a product or service that fills the void in the marketplace, and we know that that's a must before you can continue. The next thing, which is the practical, part of starting any type of entrepreneurial business or franchise, it's to develop a comprehensive business plan. And that business plan is so important because it's the lifeblood. It should live and breathe within that company. And it should include all of the key areas such as the business overview, a market analysis, the strategy, operations, and financial plan. There's more to it than that, but what I see in many instances is that it's a good product or a good service without the plan. And the plan is not just a one, size fits all. It's really tailored to what you're trying to do in what industry with what type of service and go to market and all of these elements. And it might take, some time to do that, but it's critical to be able to execute against the plan and not just, do it off the top of your head. But you'd be surprised. I see a lot of people attempting to do or start their business without a proper business plan.
Yeah, actually, I'm glad that you said that, because there are multiple streams of thought on that process. I believe I've heard certain business leaders who are super successful that said, I had $1,000 and I started, right? They didn't have like a detailed plan in place. There's some people that say, how can you not start without a plan, right? Like, so it's, it's very interesting, but you align with the idea that business plan first, then start. So that's interesting. Okay. Now I want to make sure.
Natasha, the business, one thing to add to that, the business plan sets the course, and it's kind of like you're running a boat without a compass. And, not to be cliche about, our company name, but you have to have direction, and the business plan provides that direction that you can go back to and see, okay, we're not where we need to be. Let's look at what we had originally planned. And if we need to adjust that, that still becomes, the roadmap for how you're going to, execute on that business.
Gotcha.
So it's really, I've seen more failures without the plan. I know people have done it without a plan, but it's not advisable.
Absolutely. Now, I do want to make sure that we make sure people have the information they need. So first, how can people get in touch with you if they're interested in working with you, collaborating with you? Where do they go? And then also, do you have any announcements or things that people should be on the lookout for Compass operations?
Sure, Natasha. So anyone interested in getting in touch with us can either go directly to our website at www.compassops.com, or they can call us directly, toll-free, at 866-705-2668, or they can send us an email at info@compassops.com.
Mm-hmm. Great. And any announcements, things that people should be on the lookout for?
Now, I would say one thing: if anybody is up against a circumstance where they have a situation where they need questions answered, we're always here to help. Mm-hmm. And this is at no cost. We want to help the business community. As we spoke at the LIEC, our goal is to keep businesses as strong and as sufficient, in their own right as we can. So, if anybody has any questions or wants to run something by Tom and I, feel free to just reach out. We're here as a resource for them.
Perfect. All right. And so I just have one quick question, just really quickly. What is just a rapid fire question, what is the first thing that you do in the morning?
I pray.
Oh, wow. Okay. Beautiful. Next.
I have a cup of coffee.
Very nice, guys. Awesome. Well, thank you again for being a guest here on Our Voices. I really appreciate you sharing your wisdom, your story, and your spirit of service and helping. I think that's vital for humanity as well as the business world.
Great, Natasha. Listen, thank you so much for having us on, Tom, and I really enjoyed it, and I wish you all the best.
Yes. Thank you, President Patrick Bergin, and thank you, partner and executive vice president Tom Catalano of Compass Operations, for joining the show today. I hope our audience found you both as informative and inspiring as I did. My name is Natasha Nurse. I'm the proud host of Our Voices here on 90.3 WHPC. Our show's creative director is Rudy J. Breedy. Visit nccradio.org. That's www.nccradio.org for more information. This will be available as a podcast on iTunes, Android Podcasts, and Spreaker. Our Voices is powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.